Hi, everyone, and thanks for being with us on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and I do join you today with some breaking news coming into the KREM 2 newsroom. Dr. Bob Lutz with the Spokane Regional Health District just announced today that Spokane will not be moving into Phase 3 coming up on Friday. There had been hope that we would move forward from Phase 2 to Phase 3 on Friday. Not going to happen. Listen in.
Although eligible means that you have to meet the criteria, and as we have commented, we're not close to meeting those criteria. So we will not be moving to Phase 3.
So the number of cases of coronavirus rose by 250 over the past 2 weeks, and this makes the total number of cases here in Spokane at 736, with 35 deaths related to coronavirus. In order for Spokane to move into Phase 3, an application must be approved by the local health officer, the local board of health, local hospitals, and the county commission or council. So again, not moving into Phase 3 coming up on Friday, but we'll continue to track that story. We do have this news in from Moses Lake, where an employee at a Dutch Brothers there has tested positive for coronavirus. Yesterday, the company announced the employee worked at the location on Stratford Road. Prior to testing positive, they worked over a dozen shifts throughout the last month. The company says the shop is now closed and undergoing a deep cleaning. There is no word yet on when they will be reopening. The aftermath of the protest last week was very different than we see today after this weekend's activity last Monday. So taking you back a week now, we showed you damaged storefronts, tear gas canisters, and the community cleaning up downtown. But as of this morning, there have been no reports of any major damages downtown, of course, following another weekend of marches and protests. Take a look at this video taken on Snapchat. You can see a peaceful group gathered at the Lilac Bowl. This is last night. More than 1,000 protesters marched the streets of downtown Spokane, many with the same message: more police accountability and that Black Lives Matter. They specifically marched for Breonna Taylor, a black woman from Louisville who was killed by police. Now, Occupy Spokane, the group, is encouraging people to speak out tonight. According to its Facebook page, the group is encouraging public comment at the Spokane City Council chambers at 6 o'clock. There is a City Council meeting today at 3:30, but that is being held virtually. Spokane City Council is expected to talk about a resolution from the mayor about curfews downtown. Last week, Mayor Nadine Woodward put a curfew into place following a, quote, separate group from the peaceful protesters. This was a separate group looting and damaging storefronts. That curfew was lifted the following Monday morning at 5 in the morning. And we do have an update today on the accused neo-Nazi planning a potential counter-protest in response to yesterday's event. According to Nick Martin, a reporter who covers extremism throughout America, the accused neo-Nazi in question did show up to the protest. However, only one person we're told joined him, and their rally reportedly ended in 2 hours without incident. We are told the protest was held several blocks away from the Black Lives Matter rally that was going on, again, with hundreds and hundreds of people. The final public memorial for George Floyd is underway. That is in Houston, Texas, where he grew up. His gold casket arrived at the Houston church, where a public viewing for him is being held today. Inside, mourners wearing face masks are mourning his death. There are 2 services for Floyd this week in the Houston area. There is a public viewing today and then an invite-only one that is scheduled to happen tomorrow on Tuesday. Teresa Woodard from our Dallas sister station has more on the life celebration of George Floyd.
George Floyd is home, back in Texas, back here in Houston. His body arrived here late last night, a moment his family requested remain private ahead of 2 public days of mourning.
It was brother who was behind that bricks.
Houston's 3rd Ward, a public housing project called CUNY Homes.
Up under them bricks, it is one roof.
George Floyd grew up here.
I never really seen him mad. He always Big Floyd.
So many 3rd Ward natives have been shot and killed, their names cover a wall.
And I used to always say this wall gonna be famous, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
George Floyd was not shot. He was killed by a cop's knee to his neck. Another black man lost to police brutality. And an anger that was simmering is now exploding, ignited by Floyd's death.
Well, the shirt is self-explanatory. Am I next? It's a question being asked, being posed, because me as a black man and us as blacks in general are not guaranteed to, when you leave your house, come home.
There have been memorial services in Minnesota where Floyd died and in North Carolina where he was born. Houston is where he lived most of his life.
I feel like he the angel of the wall right now. A powerful angel.
Houston is home. An aide to former Vice President Joe Biden says he will meet with the family privately here in Houston on Monday, and he will record a video message to be played at the funeral on Tuesday. He says he doesn't want the Secret Service to be a distraction. A 6-hour visitation for the public will happen at a church on the city's southwest side tomorrow. In Houston, I'm Teresa Woodard.
All right, it sounds like we are going to check in with Laura a little bit later today. We want to let you know that Floyd's public viewing is set to go until 6 p.m. Central Time, and tomorrow's private event will be held at the Fountain of Praise in Houston at 11 a.m. Central Time. In the meantime, the mayor of Washington, D.C. had Black Lives Matter painted on 16th Street. That's the road that's leading to the White House on Friday. Now, the name of the road was also changed to Black Lives Matter Boulevard, and then late Saturday evening, organizers of Black Lives Matter added to the street mural. It now reads, Black Lives Matter equal defund police. Switching gears to something more local this morning, a bit chilly this morning as we check in with Evan Arani to see if and when it's expected to warm it up as we get into the afternoon, Evan.
Yeah, it looks like we still have a few degrees to go. We're in the upper 50s right now as we start off the noon hour. Temperatures are slow to move because of just the unsettled weather that has been around us over the weekend and as we head into the week now. Here's the view outside. Looks beautiful, right? But keep in mind, upper 50s, that's well below average for this time of year. Average would be low 70s in the afternoon. So we're hoping to still gain some momentum, get a few degrees warmer. Satellite radar imagery, I wouldn't say is bare of activity, but it does have some stuff showing up. So notice that most of that activity is taking place up toward the northern mountains and along the Canadian border. Not much around Spokane or even south of Spokane, but cloud cover on either end of us and showers as well. So we are still expecting an unsettled Tuesday at least as we head into tomorrow. Today's going to stick with that trend of dry weather, but breezy outside. 20-mile-per-hour sustained speeds in Spokane, 22 in Pullman and 14 in Ritzville. So expect it to remain breezy all day long, even to nearly the overnight hours. We've got 63 degrees outside as that afternoon high, even 64 if we're lucky. So sticking with those partly cloudy skies and even expecting another day like this with just partly cloudy conditions into Wednesday. So we'll talk about that in between and about some showers that are coming our way on Tuesday in just a bit. But for now, we'll send things back over to Laura.
Evan, thank you very much. In other news that's going on today, police are still searching for 2 missing kids. This is out of Rathdrum. So we do want your attention on this as that Amber Alert is for 6-year-old Leo Isadora Heibel Clouter and his brother, 17-year-old Gene Heckman. They were last seen at Super One Foods last week. Investigators say they are both with their mother, who no longer has custody of the children. Police say she was found guilty of assault and DUI stemming from a stop in Post Falls. That was back in 2015. Her youngest son was in the car at the time of the arrest. So again, the police still looking for those kids. Investigators say, take a look at this picture of a model of the car that they were last seen in. It would be a black 2012 Nissan 4-door with an Idaho plate, K616700. If you have any information, you are asked to call 911 right away. Okay, let's head outside right now. Take a live look. It is a little bit chilly out there. We've had some wind factor into it, a little bit of cloud cover. Other places, though, filled with sunshine. So Evan will join us coming up after the break. He'll have a complete look at your week ahead in the forecast. We'll be right back. You're watching KREM 2 News at noon.